presentation on the Methodist Episcopal Church of Hibernia. A testament to the long-storied history of iron mining in Rockaway Township, the Methodist Episcopal Church of Hibernia remains to this day one of the few remaining examples of mining town life. Construction of the church began in 1868 and was completed the following year, with the dedication being hosted on October 26, 1869. Built in the vernacular Victorian Carpenter Gothic style, the church cost $8,100 to complete, with funds contributed chiefly by the Andover Iron Company, the Glendon Iron Company, the mercantile firm of Richards, Beach and Company of Hibernia, Adolph C. Poppenhaus of New York City, Richards and Tippett, the Honorable C. Beach, and others. The land was donated by Mr. C. Beach and was held by the Andover Iron Company. The church was built with the original purpose to serve the mining families of the area. In 1871, a parsonage was erected at a cost of $2,200, and in 1901, the church underwent extensive repairs and alterations, whereby a new pressed tin ceiling, pews, and gas lights were installed. The church was sold to the Lutheran congregation from Lake Telemark in 1952, and in 1969 the Lions Club of Rockaway purchased the property and donated it to the township for use as a public library. Between 1954 and 1966, Mrs. Mary Adler founded the first library location in the cloakrooms of the Marcella Community Clubhouse. Later, a second library location was also established at the White Meadow Lake Clubhouse. In 1968, the township officially incorporates the Rockaway Township Free Public Library, and the White Meadow Lake Clubhouse became the first library branch in September of that year. In 1970, the Lions Club purchased the Holy Trinity Lutheran Church, previously known as the Methodist Episcopal Church of Hibernia, on Green Pond Road, and donated the building to the township as temporary housing for the library until a municipal complex could be built. The church was later determined to be eligible for inclusion in the National Register of Historic Places for embodying the distinctive characteristics of a type, period, or method of construction. In 1971, the Rockaway Township Library expands to include three branches: Birchwood School, the Hibernia Branch Library, and the White Meadow Lake Clubhouse. In 1973, the main reading room of the Hibernia branch is dedicated to Walter Adler in recognition for his drive to open a Rockaway Township Library building within the municipal complex. In May of 1981, the new Rockaway Township Library is opened at 61 Mount Hope Road, and the Holy Trinity Lutheran Church building on Green Pond Road was kept as the Hibernia Branch Library for residents in the northern end of the township. The building overall is utilized on a year-round basis as a public library on the first floor, with a health center, which is currently not active, in the basement. These two areas are distinct and separate from each other. The building is in fair condition, with paint failing throughout the exterior, including the tower. Evidence of interior damage appears directly related to the conditions of the exterior. There are a few holes in the wood from the blown insulation access that have fallen out. Numerous vertical boards needed to be replaced due to deterioration, cracking, and splitting. The front vestibule, which was added in the mid-20th century when the denominations of the church changed, continued to have moisture issues at the transition between the two buildings and leaked significantly during severe weather. The foundation shows sign of efflorescence and mortar loss, and the steps, landing, and railings need repair. Some of the coping on the retaining walls have lost their mortar and have shifted. Additional information is provided in the following slides as a part of the conditions assessment. During periods of intense rain and windy conditions, the transition between the vestibule and the main building leaks. Although the flashing has been repaired, a permanent fix is needed, as the resulting water is sure to be degrading the building, as well as presents a slipping hazard to the library patrons. The church exemplifies many of the features of the Carpenter Gothic style, including the use of readily available materials such as the rubble stone masonry of the foundation. Overall, the foundation is in fair condition, however there is evidence of mortar loss throughout, as well as visible cracking and spalling on the top of the north concrete foundation wall, as well as the concrete sill to the east of the entrance. In response to past strategic plan focus groups, the library undertook several interior renovations to the church in 2022. New flooring was installed, and the library interior was painted and remodeled at a cost of nearly $18,000. As a result, the library has seen a significant increase in usage. In 2024, the library conducted another round of focus groups whereby the residents expressed their concerns regarding the leaks, the condition of the exterior, their desire for more services, as well as additional hours of operation. This feedback has prompted the library to respond, and it has included in our 2024-2026 strategic plan specific goals of addressing our residents' concern for restoration, along with the implementation of new services and the investigation of additional hours of operation. Furthermore, as part of our 2022 remodel, the library centralized its local history collection at the Hibernia branch in order to both highlight the historic significance of the building and create a lasting collection dedicated to the preservation of Rockaway Township's historic iron mining tradition. The Methodist Episcopal Church of Hibernia, located along Green Pond Road in Rockaway Township, New Jersey, was a product of its time and place. The church remains today as a fine example of a mining church that uses the popular styling of the Carpenter Gothic in a vernacular manner. It is a representative example of the role and influence the mining companies had on their workers and their families, as well as their role in the development of villages like Hibernia in the mid-19th to early 20th century. Although a religious building, it represents the significance of industrial development within the township, as well as state during the Industrial Revolution. In much the same manner, library services are crucial for community well-being, offering free access to information, resources, and programs that support education, literacy, and cultural engagement, while also serving as a vital public space for learning and connection. The church's current use as the Hibernia Branch Library serves a vital role in providing services to the residents of the northern end of Rockaway Township.